My name's Sheila Tracy. My son's name is Ronan Tracy. He's 3.5 now. We lived in England for 17 years. We had trouble actually having Ronan. A few miscarriages, and then along came Ronan, so Ronan was our miracle baby. After probably about 6 months, we realised that Ronan had issues. He wasn't meeting his milestones, grasping things and rolling over. He didn't do any of that. Then I fell pregnant with my second child, Owen, who's now 2.5. Ronan still wasn't causing too much of a concern. He had his 1-year review and the health visitor said he will catch up. So I thought, okay, he'll catch up. Ronan took a seizure, but at the time we didn't realise it was a seizure. They didn't necessarily know what it was. And then he was diagnosed with epilepsy 4 weeks after my second child was born. I decided we were moving home from England. I said, I can't stay in England anymore with a child who's got epilepsy and a newborn who had reflux. So we made the big move home to Newry. And we had to start all over again. It didn't stay in the system. When I went to the doctor about Ronan, I got the feeling that Ronan was far too complex for my GP, which he was. So after the initial meeting with the GP, I decided actually to make a private appointment with a paediatrician in Daisy Hill. And I do feel that that was one of the best decisions I had made. I know it costs money, but he took notes on everything that was wrong with Ronan, and he got us into the system, and we all of a sudden then we had all our appointments coming through from the right people. Our health visitor, she was the one that actually recommended early years as a place that Ronan might be able to go for an afternoon or a morning so that he could come away from me. I wouldn't even leave him with his daddy, I wouldn't leave him with my sister. You know, once he was diagnosed with the epilepsy, it was the epilepsy that stopped me from letting him be free. So once our health visitor referred us to Sinead and Sharon, we got a place with supported daycare for Ronan, which allowed me a little bit of time to myself and allowed Ronan to mix with other kids and develop his learning. The psychologist was the one who came in and assessed Ronan in early years. He was delayed. It showed he was a lot of his behaviours were 6 to 9 months, and he was 3. So I had to agree with her. And I had to say, right, what do you think? And she said, Sheila, Rathore is the place for Ronan. So we sent him to Rathore. And he is doing it brilliant there, I have to say. But the journey to get him there was hard. A lot of phone calls, a lot of waiting. So he was sent to John Mitchell Place. Then they said he was too complicated for there, so we went back to Daisy Hill. And then after a short period of time, he was referred back again to John Mitchell Place, where they decided that he wasn't too complex, that they would deal with him there. So there's a lot of passing from pillar to post, you know, and that's not easy. That's not easy. I think, you know, if there was one person you could connect with for special needs as a mum, and then they would give you advice of where to go to. I think I'd like that, and I think a lot of mums and dads would need something, that one phone call, that one person that we can contact. I would definitely advise, keep ringing until you find that person that you need to get through. Don't give up. You know, for example, with transport for Ronan, again, I was put through to the education board, and it went from special needs to transport, if I remember rightly, and I went back to special needs, and then I went back to transport. Well, who is responsible for special needs transport? Where's that one in the middle? But I kept ringing, so I do feel you do have to be persistent. You just can't give up. One thing I did do was I set up a diary, making sure that I had all the doctors' names, all the emails, addresses, all the phone numbers of all the different departments that Ronan is linked to. My health visitor, when she asked how was I at that time, I said, I burst out crying, and she knew I wasn't fine. But if I hadn't burst out crying, I would have said I'm fine, and Una probably would have thought that I was fine, you know. So I do think, yes, you know, you need to be prompted a little bit more. You know, what do you do? You know, do you go out with friends? Do you, what do you and your husband do together? Who minds? Who babysits for you? Would be a good question. In life, we all struggle. Yeah. Most people struggle to have babysitters, but when you've got a child with special needs, you trust very, very little people to mind them. So your social life, you know, does diminish. Myself and my husband, we actually take a night a month separately. He's from down south, Carlow, so he actually goes home for the 2 nights, but then comes back up and is, you know, full of energy and ready to keep going. And I've actually only recently started going out once a month. I have to say, for the first year and a half, I didn't. I actually do need some time to myself. Yeah, I do feel as if you have to get on with it and deal with what you've been given. But I do feel that everybody needs to look after their mind and make sure that they do get a little break away from your child with special needs. It's hard work. It's hard work.